here to wake the room up. Y'all gon' know the name. Expect the unexpected, boy, it big talk, big game. Welcome to the game room. Sit back, relax, and chill. Gonna speak your mind, cause in here we keep it real. You know Darrell gon' say whatever he thinking, dancing, cut up. The rank 'em gon' be random. Shout out to Lee, what up? Hot topics and the question of the day gon' blow your brain. Just tune in, it don't change. It's big talk, big game, big talk. Big game. Got big talk. Flip big game. Big talk. Big game. Just tune in, it don't change. It's big talk, big game, boy. Big talk, big game. Yeah. Big talk, big game.
What's up, y'all? This is Big Talk, Big Game. You feel me? This is your boy D-Rail.
And I go by the name of Lee. What up?
And man, we back in effect, back in effect, back in effect. Another week on the Hip Hop Network TV, man. Make sure y'all download that app and subscribe today. It's free to subscribe. It's free to download, man. We got all type of stuff on there. You know what I'm saying? Movies, reality shows, and of course us, Big Talk, Big Game. You want to see our pretty faces every day, right? Okay, then download the app, HHN TV. You feel me? Go ahead and do that. But before we get into our show today, as you can see, we got a lovely lady right here sitting in the game room for the first time.
Very special,
you know what I'm
guest.
saying? From V103.
Who we got?
You feel me? You know what I'm saying? Let me run through a few accolades for her real quick.
Who we
you know
got?
Run through accolades. We got an award-winning radio personality.
Ooh.
We got a social media manager, a content creator. We got a radio host, like I mentioned, from V103. You feel me? Straight out of Atlanta. Midday from 10 to 3. You feel me? We got the one and the only Danie!
I feel like John Cena right now. Like people's elbow or something. I feel like, okay, thank you.
You like the intro?
That was an intro. I was over here like, who are you talking about?
She over here looking too like, oh, there must be somebody else on the show.
Yeah.
What's going on? How you feeling today?
I'm good. Thank y'all for having me.
Yeah, we're honored to be here, you know.
Yeah.
So you on V103. I have to ask, like, how is that experience, like, being in the radio industry, a part of one of the biggest radio stations here in Atlanta? How's that?
It's like crazy. That's like the best way I can describe it. It's crazy. Like, I'm born and raised in Atlanta from the east side. And so I grew up on Greg Street. I grew up on Joyce Littell. I grew up on Larry Tinsley on Sunday morning.
Okay.
So I grew up on all of that. So to be able to, like, work with them and, like, pick their brains and have them pour into me, it's, like, crazy. Like, it's crazy because I've done radio in a whole bunch of different places, and I tell them all the time, I'm like, yo, this is an anomaly. It's not like this everywhere else. Like, this is, like, one of the few stations in the country where people still care, people still listening, and it's still, you know, it still holds a place in the culture and in the city. So it's real dope working there. It's like a brain fuck sometimes. Cause I'll be in there like doing something. I'm like, yeah, Greg, I need you to do da da da, and I'll be like, dang, that's crazy.
I gotta step back for it.
You know what I'm saying? Like you mentioned, you know, you was at different places doing radio. You was in New York, then you was in Orlando, then you was in Tampa. Then I think you went back to Orlando.
There you know Orlando. Go ahead, tell me.
You know what I'm saying? See, just in case this is your first time watching the show, I told you, my guest, you come on this show, I'm doing my homework. This ain't just no regular thing. I'm doing my homework. You feel me? Doing my homework. You know what I'm saying? And then you finally came back to your hometown of Atlanta. You know what I'm saying? So, are you saying that the experiences wasn't like as great in the other cities, or they was worse, better than compared to Atlanta? Or?
So what's happening in the radio industry right now? I don't know if everybody is kind of privy to this, but everything is becoming more corporatized, right? And so when things become more a lot of radio stations were like you know, in essence, kind of like mom and pop shops back in the day. That's when they were doing more things. You saw radio out in the streets and they were doing these outrageous stunts. You notice in recent years all that stopped because it got corporatized. So you can't do these stunts and stuff like that because you got waivers, you got lawyers, people will get sued,
NDAs.
people want to, you know, all that sort of stuff. So because radio has become more corporatized, the industry is shrinking and getting smaller. So in other cities and in smaller cities, you'll have a hip hop station. That's typically the station that they'll pick on. Just being real. A lot of times they love the country stations. They love the, you know, easy rock listening stations, and they love the pop stations a lot of times. But pop stations are actually taking a hit right now as well. But hip hop stations, a lot of times in a lot of different cities, unless it's a hip hop cultured city like Atlanta is, those are the stations that take the hit. So for instance, when I was in Orlando, one of the the one and only straight up hip hop station there, had one person that was full time. Everything else is recorded by somebody in another place or whatever. It's cheaper for me to pay you to do 5 stations than it is for me to pay somebody to do one station, another station here, another station here, another station here. So that's what they'll do. They'll give you markets. They'll say, okay, we'll pay you X amount of dollars and we'll throw you 5 markets. 5 different markets, meaning different cities in the instance. Right. So you may be housed in Orlando, but you're recording radio for Miami. You're recording a show. You may be doing nights in Tampa. You may be doing middays in Idaho. Okay. You know what I'm saying? Okay. And they'll pay you like a flat fee to do that because it's cheaper. Yeah. And when they do that, the local talent, we get them up out of there. We only need one person to manage this. That's it. Yeah. Yeah. Because everything's being recorded in. Yeah. So we only need one person here to actually manage the local office. So we don't need all y'all here. But in V103's case, that station has been able to kind of have the stronghold on the city and have a stronghold on the culture and everything. And then on top of that, that station brings in so much money still. It does. So since it brings in money like that, and since it still has the brand recognizability, and since the businesses still want to do business with it, corporate's like, we're going to leave it alone. Yeah, we're going to leave it alone. We're going to let y'all rock. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So when cuts come, they don't really come to V like that. Or whatever, I'm like, knock on wood. But, you know what I'm saying? But other stations, they're like, yep, we're going to get rid of the whole staff. We're going to leave you with one person. Like, I was working in Orlando. I was assistant music director. No, I was assistant program director, music director, morning show, and social media. Damn. There was only 3 people on our station, period. Damn. There was only 3 people on our station full time. I had a program director that was working for Orlando and Tampa. So I was pretty much running Orlando. And it was 2 other employees, and we have to still do everything that a radio station does. We still got to be in the community. So I would get up and do my show in the morning. After I do my show, okay, let me take about 30 minutes to go pee and kind of breathe for a little bit. Right. Maybe have some strawberries or some grapes or something. Because at 8 o'clock, at 10 o'clock, I got to hop on my promotions meeting with the sales team and stuff, and I got to go through the promotions and stuff that we doing with the radio station. Then I got to make sure I get my imaging written. Your imaging is like, coming on May 5th, you know, blah, 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 you know, that stuff that you hear in between the music. Right. Oh, I got to get that written. I got to get that to the lady so she can record it. Then I got to get that to my imaging director so he can, like, put it all together. You wearing a lot of hats. You see what I'm saying? Like, I was literally working from, like, 4 a.m. to midnight every day and because I'm doing 4 different jobs. Exhausted, and you got to do it all over again. Yeah. So that's the reality of a lot of radio personalities in a lot of other cities. But it's cool, like in Atlanta, to where, like I said, it still has the reputation. Celebrities still want to come and do interviews and stuff like that. So you don't have to do all that. And it's just a higher level. Like they respect you as talent, and that's a credit to the company and our local management. Like they really care about talent over there, which is cool.
That's what's up, man. So what got you into radio in the first place?
Yeah, what was little Danie B doing before she wanted to do before she wanted to do radio?
Being annoying. My parents I grew up on V103. I grew up on Kiss 104. I grew up watching, WSB. So Monica Pearson is what we call it now. But I've always wanted to do it. I don't know why, but I would get in the car with my parents and V103 would be on or Kiss 104 would be on, and I would literally repeating everything they said on the radio. I'm singing all the words to the song. Then they'll on V103 like that. And I was like, shut up. So then she'll turn and it'll be like, News Talk WSB, News Talk WSB. A crime has happened on the east side of Atlanta, and my mom like, oh my gosh, shut up.
Right.
We would watch the Evening News with Monica Pearson. I would literally be over there like, and I'm Monica Kaufman, and this is Channel 2 Action News. Like, my mom was like, what is wrong with her? So I knew that. I was like, I want to be on TV. I want to be on the radio. I don't know how I'm going to do it, but I want to do that. And back in the day, there was a radio personality named Melissa Summers, and she really cemented it for me because I just met her out and about, and she was just so nice. And then I put two and two together. I was like, wait, is that the same lady that I hear on the radio? My mom was like, yeah, that's the lady you just met. She's on the radio. And I was like, oh, I want to be like her. And she was like so pretty. She was so fly. I was like, I want to be like her. But that kind of like put the stamp on it for me. I was like, okay, yeah, I want to do this.
Gotcha. So was this back in Newton High School where you knew for sure that's what you wanted to do? Or
nah,
this was
at Marvitt. I was like probably like 3rd grade.
Oh, okay.
No, I was probably like 5 years. I was young when I figured out I wanted to be on the radio. Okay. I was young. I say like 5, 6 years old.
Okay. So you never wanted to be behind the camera. You always wanted to be in front of it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Ain't nothing wrong with that because you got a lot of people out here that don't want to be in front of the camera.
There's a lot of people that don't want to be in front of the camera, but I also want to say too, like when it comes to these sort of industries, like don't sleep on being behind the camera, because a lot of the work and stuff that I did behind the camera is how I got to V103, and that stuff in the eyes of everybody at V103 holds a little bit more weight because everybody is talented. This is Atlanta. Yeah. Everybody's talented. Everybody got a personality. Mm-hmm. Everybody got a little swag to them. Yeah. Everybody got a little vibe. Everybody got motion. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's Atlanta. Yeah. Everybody has that. But what can you do behind the scenes that can help take the brand to the next level? Mm-hmm. And so a lot of that stuff that I learned at the different markets that I was at is really what got me the job at V103. Like, I'm in charge of like the digital and the stuff on the website and stuff like that. That stuff is more important because that stuff is like money's attached to that.
Yeah, advertising and all that. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's what's up. Now we got Danie B in the building from V103. Yeah. You feel me? You know what I'm saying? So you're on V103. Mm-hmm. You working with Greg Street and, you know what I'm saying, business and whatnot. You working with Big Tigger. Them are big name icons, legend from V103. How was that experience when you very first got in there, knowing that they was in there and you was listening to them, compared to now that you just see them all the time now? You know what I'm saying? How was that experience?
When I first got there, I was like, okay, let's see, because like I've been in the, like, even though I was just here in Atlanta, I'm from here and I've been in other markets and stuff, I've been doing this for like 14, 15 years. And so I was very confident in my talents, but I know how that can be because I've been the new girl a lot of times. So I know you could walk into a situation and folks is like, like,
right.
I'm good on you, like,
next.
Who you think you is? Like, so I came in prepared for that. I came in prepared to be like, hey, what's up? How you doing? I came in prepared for that. Okay. I came in prepared for that.
You had to snap your neck like that?
I came in prepared for that, but it was not like that at all. Like, first day, I remember being like kind of timid on some like, because that's another thing too. Like when you're in the studio and it's your time to be in the studio, that studio was yours. Yeah. Like it's disrespectful to like just bust in on somebody's studio. So like Tigger was in there. I remember our boss was like, go in there and say hey to Tigger, you know, it's his birthday today. And I was like, I don't really want to go in his studio. I was like, I don't really want to interrupt, you know, what he has going on. And he like something. He was like, cool. I was like, hey. He was like, what's up, mama? Welcome. And I was like,
right,
me?
Right,
He's like, welcome. He was like, you know, whatever you need, let me know. Boom, 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 with the wham. I was like, okay, cool. And Greg was the same way.
Okay.
So from then to now, it's like they mad cool. Like
they like your brothers now.
They mad cool. Like yes, like
okay.
yes, like a mess. Tigger will always like joke on you. He always got something to say. Like even how my hair is twisted up now. He's like, all right, Celie, I see you today. I'm like, T, shut up. Or I like why? Like Greg will walk in the studio. He'll just rip my hat off. I'll be like, for real? Like that's what we doing? Or like sometimes I have my fro out. He'll pull up my hair and he'll be like, oh, I just want to see if it's real today. I'll be like. Bruh, so yeah, they're definitely like big brothers. They're family. Greg, both of them, they know my mama, my daddy, like all that. So they fam. Everybody up there is family.
That's what's up, man. You know what I'm saying? Like I said,
cool.
You work with some big legends. Like I said, I listen to V103 every single day, every single morning. That's my station that I'm going to.
Bet.
You know what I'm saying? And like with
thank
Big
you,
Ticket, be like,
Ravens.
Daddy B coming up next. I'm like, I gotta listen to it again.
So
you know what I'm saying?
that's so when he say, "Well, hey, Mrs. Barnes," when you hear him say that, that's my mom and my daddy.
Oh, okay.
That's
That's
what
what
he
you talking. Oh, see, I never
like
knew
you
that.
pick up on
You
that
know
when he be
what I'm
like, "Daddy B's up next." Good morning, Mrs. Barnes. That's my mom and my daddy. That's what he
saying?
says.
Okay.
Now let me ask you this: is there any like radio station versus radio station beef? Like,
Well, that's a good question. I like
remember
that.
growing up,
Back in the
Ryan
day.
Cameron was on 107.9,
Bruh.
and Frank Ski was on V103,
Bruh.
and they was always, you remember them days?
Yes.
I'll be wondering, like, because later on, of
like
course,
that.
they switched stations.
Yeah, they did.
Everybody know
Yeah.
everybody, child. Everybody know everybody, but is there like any real like beef or rivalry per se? Like it's friendly competition for sure, but it's not how it was back in the day. Back in the day, it used to be like radio wars, like we going for the neck. Like it's still like that in a sense, as far as like, but it's like not as physical anymore. If that makes sense, it's not as we're doing these things and we're doing we gonna go and take over the event. Like
it was like that back
nobody's
in
doing
the-
stuff like that now. Like I
Right.
said, things have become more corporatized.
Okay.
So when things become more corporatized, it's like, oh, you want to come and take over our event? Okay, we're suing you. Like that type of stuff can happen now.
Okay.
So
Y'all don't know if y'all doing an event or if y'all know y'all doing an event and y'all walk up into the place and y'all see 107.9, do y'all be like, oh shit? In y'all mind, y'all be like, oh shit, what the fuck they doing here?
nah, 'cause that's not.
That's
At least at
this
this
is our
level-
shit. You know what I'm saying?
At least
What
at
they
this
doing?
level, from what I've seen and how things are done at this level, that's not gonna happen.
Oh, okay.
It's just not gonna happen. Like,
So y'all never gonna be at the same event?
nah. I mean, if we're at the same event, it's probably like a festival or something where everybody's out there. So we've done that before, where we've been somewhere and I'll see across the way is Streets, but it's like, hey, what's up? Like my boy Rod work at Streets, so I'm like, hey, what's up, Rod? And like, what's up? So
Okay.
it's not like no beef. I met Incognito at from Hot 107.9. I met him at one music fest, and he was like, "Yo, what's up? What's up? I listen to you." I was like, "Oh my gosh, I listen to you too. Hi!" Like,
So do you want to? Glad that you on the show. Do you want to give us a little secret or a little insight of the Free Money Kitty?
so
Come on now, because it comes on during your show at 12:40.
Okay, so you want to know some
Come
real
on, your
insight
show.
that I learned with the Free Money Kitty?
What's that?
They don't tell us. We don't know how much money is in it. None of us. Not Tigger, not me, not Greg, not Bank, not Joyce.
So how do y'all know somebody won? If y'all don't know?
They have a manager comes in. So it's one of three people. We have three managers that will come in. They have a folder that is locked in a drawer. And they sit there through the whole contest and they make sure we go through each number so we're not cheating. So it's, hey, you're calling number one, try again. Make sure they hear you say, you're calling number one, try again. Because Free Money Kitty gets serious, bruh. Folks, like, they get pools. They start working together. They start trying to trick you. And it's... No, they will start trying to trick you. They start trying to trick you. They will argue you down. I did say the phrase right. Nah, you said gimme. You said gimme, bro. You said gimme. You gotta enunciate, bro. You said gimme.
You know, cause I think I heard it before because somebody had said something. I was like, didn't they say it right? But then Tigger was like, you didn't say it right. I'm like, what the fuck did they say then?
No,
they must have said give me instead of give me.
Yeah, it's give me.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
But yeah, we have one of three people are in there and they have a folder that is locked up and they tell us they have everything covered up. The person guessed, they'll hold up a sign that says, you're too high, you're too low, jackpot. So that's the only way that we know. So we be playing along with y'all too. So if I'm in the morning and I hear Tigger and I'm like, okay, my listener yesterday said this. Tigger's listener said this. I'm driving home. I hear Greg. Okay, Greg's listener said this. So now I know it's somewhere between here and here. And so if a listener call in and be like, say something completely off, I can then play with that and be like, come on now. Like, I've been paying attention. Come on.
Yeah.
Can y'all call in?
No.
No,
They ain't gonna give us that. How we gonna call in and we on the show? No.
But they ain't gonna know.
No. You trying to give me?
No, I'm just saying. No, listen. No, listen. What I'm
insider trading.
Listen, what I'm saying is this: is that if Tigger's on at the morning and you know your show ain't on yet, you can't call us at 8:40. Be like, hey, I'm just calling to do this Free Money Kitty.
No, we're not. We can't. We're not eligible for any of the
family
contests.
members or
because
nothing.
we work.
Like, tell cousin
So, yeah.
third remove.
So to that point, there's something in the rules that literally say, like, if you are, like, for instance, like, if someone's related to us, you can't win. Damn. So, like, my mama can't win that. My mama was pissed. She was like, I can't win. I'm like, nah, girl, you can't win that because I work there.
Well, see, can you help us out? Can you help us out real quick? Because we ain't related to you, so can you help us out real quick?
That's the point. I don't know what it is.
But hold on. But you said you be listening like, okay, so it has to be between this and this. So give us so what is it between right now? Cause I want to call in and win this.
I genuinely don't know, cause like the people that I'll be real, I haven't been paying attention this one because the first one is always the hardest one and it always takes the longest for them to get the first one. Mm-hmm. After they get the first one, it kind of is like, okay, I see where we going now. They get it quicker.
You ever have a winner on your show?
Yeah. This lady won. Shoot, I don't remember how much she won, but she won a lot of money on my show. And it was dope. Like, I started crying. She started crying because she was like, I'm getting put out of my apartment today. I had to move. She was like, this is going to help me. She was like, oh my God. She literally started praising Jesus on the phone. We was all in there like, I'm so happy you won, ma'am. I was like, all right. But yeah, so I've had two winners on my show before.
Okay.
And then, people use that as bragging rights too around stage. I was like, so I got the winner. My show.
Got the smartest listeners.
Oh, man. V103, Danie be in the building. So, when you be out in the Atlanta streets and you just being your normal self, Danie B, do you ever have music artists that run up on you be like, hey, play my music? Here's my song or whatnot.
Don't do that. I haven't had that happen yet. That used to happen to me a lot in Florida. Here, it's more of, the other day you was talking about this, and this. I wanted to say this, or the other day when you talked about, this that was, I don't know, this was happening at the airport. That helped me out because so it's more so that because if you listen to the show too, like you'll hear the different day parts is kind of like different. So Tigger's show is very different from my show. My show is very different from Greg's show. So we cater into different audiences. Yep. That's what makes V103 so unique. It's a station that, mom can listen to and kid can listen to and teenager can listen to or whatever. The college kid can listen to and the young professional can listen to. So I'm on in the middle of the day. So my show, if you'll listen, is way more R&B and it's way more melodic. It is. And then at around that 2:00 hour, we start putting more of them hip hop records in there. And by the time you get to Greg, you straight up hip hop. And then by the time you get to Bank, you street. It's street. I love that. But by the time you get to him and you get to Swamp, it's like
you turned up now.
Like you turned up.
Yeah,
so and then you get to Miss Joyce Littell and then it's Quiet Storm. It's like we vibing. So my show is very so a lot of new artists or rappers or whatever, they don't really come up to me. They'll come up to Greg. Okay. But they don't really come up to me because my show don't give that.
So you know what I'm saying? So do y'all get to create y'all own content or own level or plan for y'all show, or do they give y'all this is how your show should go during this time frame?
We pretty much get to pick what we talk about, but that's a very unique thing with V103. It's run kind of like a news station. So like beginning of my career, I did news, and with news, like you'll have a news director and you pitch your stories to the news director as far as like what you want to talk about. You do the same thing on V103. Okay. So every day before my show, my show starts at 10, right? I'm there at 9:00 in the morning, and I'm planning my show. I'm picking the stories that I want to talk to, and then I sit down with my program director. He goes through. He's like, okay, like, you got this story in the 11:00 hour. Let's move it to the 2. Okay. Or I see you talking about this. We need to hit this hard today. So like move that to tomorrow or something. So like we'll do that.
Okay. So no sense. When we put this show out, I'm definitely gonna let you know. Hey, it's out. I'm gonna be listening to the your next show, the next one. Like, let me see if she gonna say big talk, big game on there. Okay. You know what I'm saying? Let me make sure she. I'll say it. What time you gonna say that so I can be ready?
What time? Like, I can't tell you that because that depends on what's happening in again different content.
Right.
When you
right.
Yeah. When you gonna place it?
That ain't important. We're gonna push that to tomorrow. Don't worry about that.
Yeah.
We're gonna push that to tomorrow. Man, we got Danie B in the building. So, have you ever been starstruck since you've been doing V103 like a guest? Then came through the studio, or you didn't run into somebody doing an event. Have you ever been starstruck?
I'm so different. The people I get starstruck on, people be like, what? Like, Usher came up in there, and I was like, oh, hey. But I don't really get starstruck, but I've gotten starstruck twice. I've gotten starstruck 3 times. Okay. The first person I ever got starstruck with, this wasn't at V103, this is when I was working in Albany, New York, was John Witherspoon. I met John Witherspoon, and I was like, Pops. I was like, can you do the dance? Can you do the dance with me? He did. He danced with me and everything. I was like, oh my gosh, it's Pops. What? I was a big like Wayans Brothers fan and all that. So Wayans Brothers Friday, like I love Pops. So
Gotcha.
John Witherspoon is first person that I got starstruck over. And then as far as for V103, child.
She got starstruck.
I got starstruck because it caught me off guard, and that's just working at V103. You will walk in and you'll walk in, like I said, you'll walk in and Usher will be standing there, and you'll be like, "Hi," or you'll like walk down the hall, Jermaine Dupri be like, "What's up?" I'm like, "What is you doing? What
y'all
you
work
for?
here?
Yeah, like what is you over here for?" But another person I got starstruck over just because I was a huge fan back in the day, like back in the era of basketball where it was Kobe and Allen Iverson in the finals every year, Philly and the Lakers every year. I remember that era. Oh my gosh. I was a Kobe hater. God rest his soul. I'll be real. I was a Kobe hater. I'm not one of the folks that switched up because of what happened. I was a Kobe hater. So every year I remember it would be the Lakers and the Sacramento Kings, and I loved Chris Webber. I was rooting for Chris Webber. And I literally walked in, and again, it was like a brain fuck because I walked in and I'm just like, okay, so they're in the lobby, like we have a lobby and then you go past the lobby and you go to the studio. So a lot of times when people do their interviews, they go out to the lobby because it looks really nice out there and that's when they take their pictures. And so I'm walking in and they're taking their pictures and stuff. And so I walk in and I look and I was like, oh, who this tall person? And I look and then our morning show producer Kalia, as my brain, at the same time as my brain is like computing like, this Chris Webber. She goes, Danie B, Chris Webber. I was like, and Tigger is always like poking. One of the things that Tigger does, he pokes fun at his co-host Jazzy McBee. He'll poke fun at her because she's not that big on sports or whatever. He's like, Danie, you know who this is? I was like, bro, like, and I literally just went straight New York. I'm like, bro.
Right.
Why are you here?
Right.
So it was like, he was like, oh my gosh. He was like, this really made me feel good. I was like, you don't know back in the day when you and Kobe in the bro. So yeah. And if y'all believe me, it's on my Instagram page. Like I put like
I'm gonna have to go watch that.
The morning show producer Kalia, she thought really fast and she like recorded the whole interaction, but I was literally like, I can't believe you're here. I was like, oh my gosh, I love you, bro. So, Chris
man, that's what's up, man. You know what I'm saying? And I was reading about, you know what I'm saying, your little bio as well. You consider yourself the life of the party. Is that true?
I think I have a really bubbly personality, you know what I'm saying? And yeah, I mean, people look at me and they don't think that I can like host a party, but I used to host parties. Like I was doing that in Orlando in between gigs. Like I would host clubs and host parties. I've rocked rooms like thousands and thousands of people. I've rocked arenas and all of that, so I can do that.
So you're the type of person that if you walk in there, the party's whack, everybody holding up the wall like it needs to be.
I'm like, wait a minute.
Yeah, I was about to say, you get on the mic.
Like ask my line sisters. My line sisters, I'm a Delta, so ask my line sisters. They'll tell you like we'll be at like weddings or whatever, and I'll be like, who? Can I see your microphone? Just for a little bit. Okay, thanks.
Oh man, so you turn the party out.
I can't, but I can also chill. Like, I don't have to do that. Like, I'm not a person that has to do that. Like, I'm extroverted, introverted. So
you
like,
saved the party, though, so if it's dead, you know.
I'll be like, all right, this is...
Oh, man. So has radio been everything that you dreamed it would be at this moment?
Yeah.
Has it been everything?
Been a whole bunch of stuff.
The good and the
like,
bad.
What is this?
It lived up to the
good. Yeah, the good and the bad. Has it been what you thought it was going to be?
Now that I'm at V103, yes. Before I got to V103, I was kind of like, what is this? And I was at a place where I was like, yeah, I'm done with this because this is stupid. I was getting like let go every 2 years just because of what I was telling you was happening with the industry. It's like, oh, we have to get rid of this station now. the station's doing well, but we're just going to get rid of it because our manager and our corporate boss wants to put a rock station there. So we're just going to fire everybody and we're going to put a rock station here. Okay. And then the other time it happened, it was like, yeah, because of the government and the rules changed, we have to kill your station. Sorry.
We know that you're. Why y'all gotta use that word? Kill it.
That's literally what they do. They get rid of the station. They wipe the station's gone, and they put another station there, or new management, or whatever. Wow. So that was happening to me very, very often, and I was like, "What is this? This is stupid." Like, you know what? I got to the point where I was like, "You know what? I'm good. I'm good. I affected a lot of people's lives. I helped a lot of people. I feel like I did well with this. I can do something else." And then V103 just kind of came.
Oh, wow.
Well, there's I don't know if you wanted, but there's a longer story behind how that happened, but V103 just kind of came.
Because I know with V103, they used to have a bunch of other people on there with Big Tigger. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? They had Miss Pat. Oh, okay. They had Tyler Chronicles.
Yeah, shows changed.
They had Miss Basketball, and I'm like, you know what I'm saying? Was it going piggyback off what you said? Like, did they consider like, okay, we got to change the people too? If we're going to change up this station and this how it's going to structureize, we got to change the people and take people out and put people in or something more.
That stuff, as far as V103 specifically, that stuff happened before I got there, so I kind of don't know the story as far as what happened with them. But as far as the story that happened with me in different stations, yeah, like you have corporate, and corporate makes these decisions. Like there was, a couple of years ago, as far as like what happened with one of my stations that I was at, it was 1019 Amp Radio. It's the same company I work for actually. The powers that be decided that pop stations, they didn't want them anymore. So a lot of the amp stations, it was amp this, amp this. There was one in Boston that I actually worked at. There was one in San Diego, I believe. There was one in LA. There was one in Orlando, and that was like the brand amp, whatever call letter, whatever number after it. They got rid of all the amps and they changed them to alternative stations. Okay. And so
I remember seeing amps.
It was just a decision that they made. And then the last station that I worked with, like basically by law, when President Obama, so it gets like political too. When President Obama was in office, he made a law with, the FCC. So the president appoints the FCC. The FCC is the governing body of all of broadcasting and all that. So, when they talk about those fines during the Super Bowl because somebody said that, in the that's the FCC doing that. So obviously Obama was in office, so the FCC is going to be more liberal leaning. So what comes with that mindset? It's like, okay, we want to make everything fair. We can't have monopolies. We can't have one station or other stations having an unfair advantage. Right. So they put a law in place saying that if you're a big conglomerate, so that means your iHearts, your Odyssey, your Cumulus, like these big radio companies, you can only have 5 FMs. If you have more than 5 FMs, you got to get rid of them. Okay. And so they were saying, okay, that's the law. You can only have 5. Then Trump got in office. Trump is conservative. What are conservative politics like? Okay, survival of the fittest. You get out there. You go out there and you buy a whole bunch of stations. You buy a whole bit. Exactly. Yeah. And so he left it alone. So his FCC was like, I don't care.
Do what you do.
But then what happened after that? Joe Biden got in office. Yeah. FCC is more liberal leaning now. Yeah. FCC was like, y'all got 6 over there.
We told y'all need to have 5.
We told y'all need to have 5.
Right.
So you have until this deadline to figure out which one you going to get rid of. But what if so then they tried to buck the system, they tried to put it in a trust. And so basically what a trust is like, okay, I own the radio station. Government telling me I can't own the radio station. You my cousin. I'm putting the radio station in your name. But I'm going to still run it. But it's going to be in your name legally, so I can still have it. They said, get up out of there. Get that up out of that
trust. They caught that too.
Yeah, they caught that. It was a whole bunch of stuff that went into that too, but they caught that too. So they was like, you have, in essence, like, I think it was like 90 days or something to sell this. And they forced them to sell the radio station. They picked our station.
Wow. You and you never know this type of stuff is going on behind them closed doors. So you like, damn, like, knowing V103, knowing 1079, you've been here for so long, you never know that y'all could have been on the verge of being cut.
Yeah, you never know.
What I'm saying? Never know.
And they just had a cut. Like, our station literally just had a cut.
So.
That when, like, people were talking about, the whole company literally just had a cut. Luckily, V103, I think we only lost one person, but other stations, like, almost their whole staff got cut.
Yeah.
Around the country.
Yeah.
So this stuff is happening now. Around Thanksgiving every year, folks be like, because that's when they do it, because they be trying to clean the budget.
People look
for
like,
next year.
Are they still here? Let me see. Are they? Oh, okay, they still here.
People gonna it be like, okay, my key card's still. My fingerprint work. Get in.
Terrible.
Man, we got Danie B in the building, man. You feel me, man? So Danie B, we gonna play a little fun game with you, man, while we got you here called Rapid Fire. You feel me? And what it is that we just throw some rapid stuff at you, you know what I'm saying? You just answer how you gonna answer it, okay?
Okay.
All right.
Serious.
It's not
that serious. I was gonna say.
Outside of the radio industry, just normal Danie B. What is your favorite hobby to do?
Movies. Ooh, biographies. Or biographies and documentaries.
How's you the life of the party? You doing biography?
No, because I like learning about people. So I'll put on a good biographical movie, especially about some black folks. I'm like, so did you know that they came off the boat and then they made that? Did you know that's why the mountain is like that? Did you know that?
Be
Like,
learning
I'll
stuff.
watch that.
Who's
all
your
day.
favorite biopic?
My favorite biopic? Tina Turner.
What's love got to do with it?
Okay.
That's the first one that pops in my head.
Yeah.
Okay. So speaking of movies,
Ooh, that one and Freddie Mercury is really
Oh,
good.
okay.
That's really good. I was just like, and Ray. Dang, that's a
Ray,
lot.
Ray.
You say my favorite. Dang, now you bringing them all to the forefront.
look.
Ooh, and the Elton John one is good too.
you might well say 42.
That one
See what I'm
good
saying?
too.
Lord have mercy. See what I'm saying? She just like any biopic.
Any
that-
biopic, especially
You know what I'm
ones that are like musical.
legendary.
I
I
love
like
music,
music ones. So
yeah.
yeah.
I have a question. I wanted to know what's something you had to learn about yourself being in the radio industry, especially when it comes to politics, because any job, like you know how people have work drama and they have like their 9 to 5 and you have to be politically savvy. What's something that you learned about yourself that you liked or didn't like being in the radio industry, good and bad?
That I learned about myself. I don't know. That's a really good question. Okay.
I was gonna say the same thing.
Okay,
Like, you know,
introspection. Introspection. So hold on, let me look within.
Being in that industry for so long, right, and you bumping into so many different type of people, right? What, like, I want to know what you.
Oh,
learned
I
about
can give you
yourself.
something that I learned about myself. I learned that I felt like I learned early in my career that I was a pushover.
Ooh.
And a people pleaser. I was like, okay, I'll do it. So now that I'm older, I've learned to have like boundaries, like healthy boundaries and a good balance and all that. And I think one of the biggest lessons I learned for me is like I was always very much so, I want to do this and this is gonna be my career and my career is my life and da 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 da. And I was like, I got to a point when COVID happened and everything shut down, and I'm like, dang, I'm here, but I'm just by myself. And I have work.
Yeah.
And I'm by myself. I'm in a whole nother state. I have no family here. I don't really have a lot of friends here. I have people that I'm friendly with, and I did meet a couple of my best friends down there. But it's like, I don't have like a family unit here, and I'm just here by myself. And so I was like, okay, I need to make some changes as far as like being more balanced as a person. Because I was like, I was of the mindset of like, you got to put everything or your all into this dream if you're going to make it work.
Right,
and it's like,
right.
You can balance. It's okay. You can have a life outside of that. And also you having a life outside of that helps that, especially what I do, it helps it be better. Because you can relate to people. You have more to talk about. You have world experience that you can bring into your reporting and stuff.
Okay.
Ooh, and having learned that you need to set boundaries with your life to have work balance, do you feel like your voice became more important in radio? Because like when I listen to radio, I'm looking for someone that I relate to, like especially as a young black woman. When I tune in and you guys talk about certain topics, I want to be able to listen to the person and relate to. So do you feel like what you've learned has become more impactful over the years with your target audience?
Yeah, because I'm able to bring my real life into it. And when you bring your real life into it and you're able to be vulnerable and open, that's how you make the connection. And I think that's something that a lot of people don't realize is about radio. It's like a connection with people. A lot of people just think you're on there just being cool and saying all this stuff, but it's like, no, like if you really, now you're going to notice it. But if you really listen to my show, almost every break, I try to put a little tidbit in it about me. To where you know about me and you feel about me. When I'm on the phone with my listeners, when I'm getting their winter information and they'll tell me stuff, like the lady today, she called in and she won tickets for Mother's Day, and she was like, I was like, are you a mom? And she goes, yeah. She was like, I'm at the school right now, child. I got to take my little baby to get his allergies. She's like, I got to take him to get his allergies checked out because he's been having a hard time. I was like, well, can you take me with you? Because I've been having a hard time with my allergies too. And then when we got off the air or whatever, we got off the air. And so we had a cool little moment on air. But then when we got off air, like, I was like, what's going on with your son? And she told me or whatever. I was like, well, if this is some light at the end of the tunnel. And I told her about my struggles with allergies and asthma and stuff as a kid, and she's like, oh my gosh, thank you for that. Like so, you know, it helps people look at you in a different light, and it helps people relate to you better. And then as far as having boundaries also at work, it's like you do become a little bit more respected when you just don't do everything, because it's like, okay, her time is important. Like, you can't just send her stuff at 12 o'clock at night and be like, oh, she's just going to get it done. Like, she had, and I make it known, like, I have a boyfriend, I have a bonus son. Like, I can't be doing this stuff all the time. Like, I got to do homework and cook dinner and stuff like that. Like, I still have the life outside of this, so.
Yeah. You know what? I'm glad you asked. That was a great ass question.
Did answer too.
Did you want to be a guest host? You know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I'm saying? You want to be a guest host?
I don't know. I want to know her. You know, because in any industry, especially as a woman, you go through so many different things, right? So I'm just like interested in like, what has she seen? Like, what did it look like when you were a people pleaser? Like, what moment did it click for you? Like, oh my
I can
God.
tell you that right now.
Yeah, I want to know.
Like, what moment did it click for me that don't matter or whatever is when, okay, so when I was in Florida, basically I was in a position to where a lot of things in radio move slow. So a lot of times you'll have conversations. It's like they date you first before they give you the job. It's not like other jobs where you go in, you do the interview, you nail the interview, yeah, you got the job. Like, no, they want to take you to dinner first. They want to pick your brain. They want to know what your philosophy is. They want to get to know you as a person. They want you to come in for auditions. Then when you come in for like 4 or 5 auditions, you don't hear anything for about 5 months. Then they call you back. Like, it's a process. So I had been going through this process for a while, which is how I got in Tampa. So I was in Tampa, and they told me, okay, we have something for you. We got something for you. We got something for you. We got something for you. I'm like, okay. So I'm bending over backwards. Granted, this is a part-time job in Tampa. I live in Orlando. I am driving to Tampa every day. I am a substitute teacher by day to make money. So I'm up at 6 something in the morning. I'm substitute teaching. I finish substitute teaching. I get right on the road. I drive to Tampa. Tampa is an 1.5 hour drive in the middle of rush hour traffic, which is happening in Orlando. And then I have to pass through Disney traffic to get to Tampa. It turns into a 3 hour drive.
Oh my God.
So from 2 to like 5, I'm there. I'm supposed to be on air at 6, from 6 to 12.
Then you gotta come back.
And then I gotta come back.
Get back at about maybe 2 in the morning.
Go to bed. Get up in the morning. Go deal with kids in the morning.
You gotta get
exactly.
Up, you gotta
So
get
that's
about
what I'm
3
doing.
hours later.
But
you gotta get up.
But I'm doing it because they're saying, okay, we got something for you. We're working on something for you. So I'm like, okay, if I can show them I can work hard and I'll get it. They was like, yeah. So we want to offer you part time on the weekends. I was like,
nigga, what?
What is we? I'm like, all right. But they're telling me, I have a friend behind the scenes that's telling me they're working on something for you in Orlando. I'm like, I just came to Orlando. Like, all right. So I do that. I'm like, all right, I'll do the part-time shit, whatever. Yeah. I do that. And then finally the guy hits me up in Orlando. I don't hear from him have dinner with him, have lunch with him, don't hear from him again. And then they call me in. So they call me in and they say, the guy's like, okay, I'm going to give you the job. I'm like, okay, cool. He was like, you're going to come back in tomorrow. He said, but this is what's happening. They're going to flip the station. When they flip the station, that means they're going to change the format of the station. They're going to change the type of music they play.
Yeah.
They're going to flip the station tomorrow. I was like, okay, you're going to act like you don't know any of this. Okay. And then they're like, but you're going to be doing the night show. You know, it's good to go. The next morning, I get a phone call from the general manager. Yeah, the guy that just hired you, we fired him today.
Damn.
And so now I got to act like what he told me didn't happen.
Right.
Damn.
I act like what he said didn't happen. I'm like, oh, but we still want you to come in. We have something for you. He told me I was going to come in that day and sign my contract and be done with it.
Right.
We still want you to come in. We're gonna talk about some things. I'm like, okay. So I still come in, you know, be a team player. I still come in. They announce to the staff that they're gonna flip the station. The staff is like, because they don't, again, when they do these things, it's always a surprise. They don't tell people. So people are like, what about my accounts? What about my business dealings? They bought this station, not this station that you just changed it to. What is this? And so they announced the new lineup of people. Then they put my face up there, and I'm like, oh. But what my contract? Because we still ain't talked about that. Yeah, we gonna talk to you about that. We gonna talk to you about that. A day goes by, next day, where my contract at? We gonna talk to you about that. We gonna talk to you about that. Wow. And so then finally they sit me down and they're like, okay, so since we just fired that program director, we don't think it's fair to hire you right now and not let this person have the ability to pick their own staff. Which I was like, all right, I get it. But we still want you to work part-time.
But y'all got my face plastered all over here like I'm gonna send the next big thing or whatnot.
Right.
And y'all still
they don't.
We ain't ready to sign no contract yet.
So I'm working part-time there Monday through Friday, and then on the weekends I'm working part-time in Tampa. Still going back and forth to Tampa because we're sister stations, same company. So then the new program director comes in. He talks to them. He talks with everybody that's already on staff. What are your goals? What are you trying to do? Boom, boom, boom. I tell them straight up. I was like, I'm just trying to grow in the company. And I told him everything that happened. I said, they told me this. They told me this. I said, I ain't got no contract. What we doing? I told him straight up. He's like, okay, I'll figure it out or whatever. He loved me. He was like, oh yeah, like you who I want. Yeah. And then he started to kind of switch up. And so I was like, what's going on? And so, but he's very I love him to death to this day. I literally just wrote him the dope recommendation letter. He's dope. But he was just kind of like, well, I'm talking to them. They have me meetings with all these people or whatever. And then one day I was just like, this feels like something. I don't know what this is, but I have a feeling that this is something. I've learned now to trust whatever this feeling is in here, your intuition or whatever, trust that. So I just straight up asked him, I was like, do they have a problem with me being on the station because I'm black? And he was like,
Yeah. Don't be real.
He was like, and I've been fighting them on it. He's like, and I think it's messed up. I don't think it's right. He said, but I've been fighting them on it because you're the best person for the job. He said, they want me to talk to other people and da-da-da-da-da. He was like, you're the best person for this job. He was like, so I was on the phone with him, sat in that parking lot and cried. And that was the day I was like, it don't matter. Like, it literally just depends on who's sitting where, and just what's going to happen is what's going to happen. Like, you can break your neck, you can break your back. But at that moment, I was like Jay-Z say, still nigga.
Yeah.
That's just what it is. And so after that, I was like, okay, I'm be petty. So I was like, I'll continue working your little stupid job. And I was like, but what I'm going to do, I'm going to apply to everything. People that I know are your friends because I know they're going to call you. I'm going to apply to everything. Things within the company, because you know when you apply to a job within the company, they have to call people there to
see what kind of employee you are.
To see what kind of employee you are and to get permission to talk
make sure
to you.
That you can.
To make sure you're good. Yeah. So in doing that, because I was like, I'm trying to get the fuck up out of here because y'all bugging. And I was like, I'm going to go back home. I don't care. I'll work in the traffic center in Atlanta. I'll do it. That's where I came from. I was like, I'll go to traffic center in Atlanta just so I could get anything, just get up out of here. Yeah. So I did all that. But in doing that, I inadvertently created a buzz for myself because all these people were actually interested. And so they were calling them like, hey, can we talk to her? Kay, can we talk to her? So then that whole mess turns into, no, you can't talk to her. We're going to use her.
Now,
Okay.
Okay, now you got popularity now.
So I got an offer to come back to Atlanta, work in the traffic department. I was like, I'm gonna take it because I'm going back home. Like, this is stupid.
Yeah.
And I didn't tell them what it was. I was just like, it's a news job, like whatever. And my boss was like, he had been fighting, and he was like, this might give me what I need. Give me a minute. So he like goes in there, and he literally raises hell. He's like, yo, she's gonna leave. She's gonna go to our competition. She's going to Atlanta. Da 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 da. Contract was on my desk that day.
Wow.
So that was a lesson for me as far as like sometimes like just the corporate straight and narrow way is for us as black people. A lot of times that ain't all the time gonna get you much because
You gotta go above and
it's
beyond.
that's not created for us to succeed in that type of situation. But if you create a situation to where they're like, we don't want you to sit at our table, but you create your own table, and it's like, now, oh, there's room over there, because that's pretty much what I did.
Yeah.
And that's kind of how I got at V103 as well. So as far as like realizing like boundaries and stuff like that, that was one of the first instances that I was like, why am I breaking my back for these people and they wouldn't piss on me in a fire? They'd probably be glad that I was burning.
Yeah. That's
You know what I'm saying?
inspiring though.
You know what I'm saying? And what he said is inspiring, especially, you know what I'm saying, being a black woman. You know, black women have always been strong to be that go-getter. You know, they going to figure it out. Well, you know what I'm saying? No matter how much of a struggle it is, no matter how hard it is, they going to always figure it out. You know, and I definitely, I envy that you actually went out there and you did that, and you know what I'm saying, you actually made it happen. And now that made them look at you like, well, damn, this is our Kobe Bryant. What the fuck we doing? You know what I'm saying? Like, let's get this lady on the contract. You know what I'm saying? We got to keep this lady on the team. We tripping. You know, I don't care what her race is. We tripping. Y'all need to get this lady. You know, but if you would have never done that, then they probably would have still kept treating you like you was Greg Ostertag or something like that. Like you was just a player or whatnot. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like you was just a player. I'm just being real.
Right.
You know.
Nah, they tried it. It was most stuff. Like, they brought in, you know, there was another instance, like, after that, after I got the gig or whatever, I'm doing the work of an assistant program director. I'm doing the work. I got the job or whatever. They start moving me up. And so then they're like, okay, we're going to make you a manager. So I was like, okay, we're training you to be a manager or whatever. For whatever reason, they decided to bring, I love him to death. He's so cool now. He's so cool. But at the time, I was like, what are we doing? They brought this white boy in from New York that was fresh out of college. First radio job ever. They was like, he's going to be the assistant program director, even though you've been doing the work for the last 6 months and you've been training for the last 6 months. He's now going to be your boss.
You help him.
But you have to, like, now train him.
Wow.
Right.
And I was like, yeah, I'm not doing that. I was
Right,
like, I'm not doing
right,
that.
right.
Months later, they let him go, and they was like, we're going to give you the assistant program director, but we're not going to give you more money. But we're going to give you the title now. Yay! You get a new bonus structure. Yay! That you're not going to attain because the bonus structure is rigged. Yay!
Dang.
How can I celebrate that? You know what I'm saying?
They're not
Like,
celebrating that. You're ungrateful.
you know what I'm saying? How you celebrate that?
Wow.
Man.
That's a lot.
Yeah, that's a lot, man. You know, and like I said, you never
To go
know
through.
what goes on behind the scenes of radio.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
crazy.
You never would have knew that, you know. But let's get back into rapid fire, though. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah,
You know
that
what
went
I'm
on
saying?
a-
Get back
went
to
on
rapid fire and
tangent.
whatnot. You know what I'm
Went
saying?
driving down
So
the
you
highway.
said something about movies.
Okay.
All right. So out of these 3 movies that I'm about to get you, you have to watch one now, watch one later, and never watch one ever again.
Okay.
All right. Columbiana. You ever seen that? You seen that before?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, I just want to make sure. Salt
Okay.
and G.I. Jane.
These is some out of the box type of. What are these? Like, what kind of movies? Like,
I'm thinking the same thing.
It's out of the box though. You just ain't get no normal stuff. You
I
know what I'm
guess
saying?
right now, just because I'm feel y'all gonna judge me right now, I don't think I've seen G.I. Jane.
You ain't never seen G.I.
I
Jane?
don't feel like I've seen G.I. Jane, so I'll watch that now because I know it's a classic movie that I haven't seen. Salt, I have seen that. I'll watch that later. And Columbiana, I could, for whatever reason, I know people love it. I couldn't get through it. I've tried to watch it a couple times, but I just couldn't.
So
get
you never
through it.
watch Columbiana again?
I never watch. I could never watch it again.
Oh, okay.
No, I tried to watch it a couple times.
Okay.
I know people love it, but
I ain't gonna give you no normal. I'm not gonna give you no normal movie. I'm gonna give you something that's gonna make you think.
What's your
Different type of movie.
Yeah, that was interesting. I haven't thought about some of those movies in so long.
Right. I was like, give me Boys in the
No, see, that was too easy. No, see, that's too easy. You know.
Okay, what's your favorite decade of music?
90s.
90s.
Yeah.
Okay.
90s, bro. You had a little bit of everything in the 90s. 90s was fire, bro. Come on. Come on. Like, look how I'm dressed. This is very 90s, bro. Like, 90s was fire. 90s was the era of music where R&B was popping.
Mm-hmm.
And then even on the other side, the pop boy and shit, that, you know, you had the bands was popping.
Mm-hmm.
Like, the rock and roll people. I'll say 90s and 2000s because that stuff bled over. But yeah, all that stuff was popping when VH1 You Ought to Know and stuff was popping.
Yeah.
And they was playing music videos and stuff on. Bruh, come on.
Yeah.
Come on.
Okay,
Yeah.
well, speaking of music, then, what's your go-to karaoke song?
My go-to karaoke song? Lauryn Hill. You're just too good to be true.
Okay. Okay. When I go to their karaoke and she in there, I'm gonna sit and listen to some Lauryn Hill. You feel me?
Oh yeah, people gonna be having lighters up.
I need you, baby.
We don't know the words. We gonna need the karaoke. We gonna need the lyrics for that one.
Oh man, what's your favorite season?
Fall.
Okay.
Fall. It's not too hot. It's not too cold. I got allergies real bad, and so in the springtime I can't breathe. I can't breathe right now almost. But the fall, because I feel like that's when you can really dress, especially here. You can really dress in the fall because you layer your things, and like when you put the different layers on, that elevates like what you got on.
Okay.
So I think fall.
Okay. You got the little nice little fall, semi-fall. You know what I'm saying? You got this little skull cap on. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You know.
I'm still on my LA, you know, from
Yeah,
the
LA.
Kendrick Lamar
Okay.
the Kendrick Lamar there. I'm still on my little LA swag.
Okay. Favorite chip flavor? You tasting them now?
Honey barbecue. The honey barbecue. I like the honey barbecue Lay's, but when I'm trying to like be healthy and not eat like straight up potato chips, I'll do the kettle cooked jalapeno.
Kettle cooked jalapeno.
That's a good call.
Okay, well, speaking of eating, then let's see. Would you rather eat and never gain no weight, or would you rather say something, whatever you want to say, and never have any consequences?
I feel like I eat now and don't gain weight, so I guess the latter. Say what you want to say, because I'm so empathetic and I'm very cognizant of people's feelings. So I'm always trying to find the way to say the thing the right way. So yeah, say what you want to say without consequence, I guess.
Okay. Do you have a celebrity crush?
No.
Have you ever had one?
Come on.
Anybody will tell you. I was a very different type of girl. I was very tomboyish, and I just was not interested in a lot of things. But I would say back in the day, like everybody loved B2K, everybody loves 50 Cent, everybody loved Chris Brown. Who else?
So who was you into?
Allen Iverson.
I
used to love Allen Iverson. But was that like a crush or was that just like fandom? I don't know.
Well, you said Chris Webber.
But I wasn't crushing on him. I just liked him as a player.
Okay. So you never had no celebrity crush?
Well, that's what I'm saying. God. Like on my wall, like the people on my wall, like in my childhood bedroom, that's still on my wall to this day.
You got Nelly on your wall.
Yeah. How'd you know that? How'd you know that?
I told you. I do
too much research.
My homework.
All that.
Y'all don't understand what I do.
How you know that? I know how you know that.
I don't understand how y'all don't understand how to do my homework, man.
It's an Instagram reel. I know exactly how you know that.
I do my homework, man.
I had Nelly on my wall. I had 50 Cent on my wall. I was a huge 50 Cent fan. I loved 50 Cent and like B2K. And then Chris Brown. Everybody loved Chris Brown. And Bow Wow. Everybody loved Bow Wow.
But you didn't name about 7 different celebrity crushes that you know what I'm saying that you had. So.
Well, you said had.
So you had all these people with celebrity crushes.
Actually, I got one. Method Man.
Now or then?
No, I always loved Method Man, and the funny thing is, my boyfriend now he doesn't look like Method Man, but he has Method Man's essence, and I'm like, that's fucking weird. Like, why would I even do that?
That's on purpose.
They from the same area, like Method Man's grandma and his grandma go to the same church. I'm like, that's uncomfortable. It's weird. So like,
coincidence?
Right.
it really is, because I would like. That was just random how me and him got together.
So if you ever called him, hey, baby.
No, because like I said, he don't look like him. He don't look like him. He just has his essence, like he's from New York as well, and they both from the same area. Like they just act well how I would imagine Method Man would act. They like act similar, I would think.
Oh, okay.
And then he has like some of his stature, so I'm like,
Okay. So who, in your opinion, who's your queen of hip hop? Like for you,
queen of hip hop.
Hip hop.
Forever or right
Just
now?
Forever. Or you can give both. Whatever you want to do.
Forever, I'm going to say.
Because you're into music, so you do this.
Nice.
You do this.
Forever, queen of hip hop, because I feel like that's so multifaceted, because different people do different things.
Well, and that's what I'm saying. Everybody gonna have their own.
I feel like
for you, what pulled it in?
It's multiple people. What? Okay, so what pulled me into hip hop? Female that pulled me into hip hop, Missy Elliott.
Okay. That's a good answer.
That's a good choice.
Okay.
Yeah, that's a good choice. Now, if you had to say now besides forever,
Who's running it right now? Doechii. I love Doechii. Doechii's fire, and she's so creative, and I love her eye. I love her vision. Like, Doechii is it right now. She's that girl.
Okay.
I love.
Hey, Doechii, you need to come to Danny B show. And
Yeah, I love
game,
outside the box people.
Come on over here to Big Talk Big Game too as well.
that.
You know what I'm saying? We can talk to you and whatnot. So what we want to do as well too, we want to play a little fun game with you. Since you into music, since you into radio, we play lyrical exercise or whatnot.
If you come
Oh,
to
okay.
me, you want me to do some lyrics? I ain't
No.
gonna.
He gonna explain the rules to you. He gonna explain the rules to
She
you.
perfect for this one.
Right.
Okay, so
Damn, be like, is this?
the lyrical exercise. I'm just gonna read some lyrics to a song,
Yeah, I ain't gonna do that.
and then you just guess. Guess the name, the artist of the song. Okay.
See, that's
easy.
the thing that's kind of funny right now. Even though I work in music and I listen to music right now, everybody would tell you, they were like, girl, that is not the lyrics to that song. I'm like, yes it is. I hear it every day. And then too, remember, I'm listening to the radio all day, and so a lot of times the version on the radio is not the regular version. So it'll be like, I'll just be singing along, and I'll be like, oh, that's what he really said.
Okay, y'all ready?
Yeah, we ready.
Just saying some lyrics. It's easy. This is easy. I know that I can count on you. When that's not possible, tell me, can you weather the storm?
Oh,
okay. Don't say it yet. Don't say that yet, because we want to make sure everybody else can see
Y'all
it
already
and
got
get it. No, I think she got it. I think she got it.
You got it?
I think I got it too. Go ahead. Keep going.
Y'all got it? Okay.
Keep going.
You got it.
Okay, everybody got it, so that's all you need.
Keep going. All right, everybody got it?
I got it. So name it.
'cause I need somebody who will get for me in the good times and bad times. She will always,
Come on.
always be right there. Doom, sunny days.
Everybody loves them. Tell me, baby, can you stand the rain?
Can't you stand it?
Yeah.
I know.
See, now you got it. See what I'm saying? You
Okay,
got
that
it.
wasn't that bad.
It's easy. It's easy.
I was saying, that's the first one. Why she gonna give me something?
It's gonna be well-known stuff. All right, let's see.
See?
I got a lot to choose from.
You said,
I don't want to be with you. Put that on everything I own. I can't believe I stayed around that damn long.
shoot, I know what that is, but I can't think of it right now. I've heard that before.
'Cause I believe that you're my downfall. You did me wrong. I thought you were true. You ran out my life, and now I'm so through with you.
Damn, that sound like a poem. Shit.
I know.
Y'all know that.
It is.
I know what it is, but
You know
I
what?
can't place
No.
it.
I know it is.
Okay.
I don't want to be with you. Put that on everything I own. I can't believe I stayed around that damn long. If I never see you again, I won't be mad at all.
Oh!
Don't say it though. Don't say it though. Don't say it though. I'm trying.
Because I believe that you're my
Wait a minute.
downfall.
Damn, you know it now?
Is that?
I don't know the name of the song, but I know the song. I don't can't figure out the
I
name.
don't want to be with you. Put that on everything I own.
Yeah, and then if I stayed around that. Avant! Now.
But what's the name of the song though?
Separated.
Together and never turn our
Backs
backs
on each other.
That's it.
Oh, now
that we're
separated, we can't stand one another.
Yeah.
I was about to say I'll do that, but I was like, "What song?" In my head, my brain kept going Drew Hill, but I was like, "No, that's
I knew
not
it was a bar. I just
Cisco."
couldn't name the damn song.
All right, we'll do
Okay.
one last one. We'll do
Okay,
one last
okay.
one. Y'all got it.
See,
Y'all
she got it, know what I'm saying? She got it.
Let's see. Say you from the east side? Okay.
It's not on see we soup.
Y'all, you should know this probably from this first sentence. I'm digging in your walls something vicious.
Remember on the radio? Edited version.
First sentence, you should know that.
Oh my god.
This is a radio song.
Hey,
No, but that's what I'm saying. I hear the edited version.
he didn't even warm up to it.
I know what that is, but I can't think of it right now. Hold
Okay,
on.
keep
Y'all know-
going.
you know
keep
that
going.
is like
I have no
the-
idea. I
Okay.
have no idea.
I know it. Hold on. What's the
I
next
have no
line?
idea.
I'm digging in your walls something vicious. With your legs to the ceiling, catch a nut something serious.
Okay, this is. I was gonna say that's that. They don't play that part on the radio. They don't play that part. We be done got fined. They don't play that part.
You're delirious, or might I say you taste so delicious. With your pretty brown skin like almond joys and kisses.
I heard this
I know
song
what song
before.
that is. Damn, that song.
Yeah.
Keep going.
And you a certified head doctor.
Oh,
That's
that's 2 Chainz.
No.
Is that what it is?
What's
Oh,
good.
Trillville.
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 I remember Trillville came and shot a video of my after
I'm
school.
digging in
Yeah.
your walls something
I'm not
vicious.
thinking.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Oh,
What it
man.
is, ho?
What's
What's
up?
up?
So
Y'all know.
do they say digging in your walls something vicious on the radio?
Oh, it's I'm vicious. No.
Oh man.
That's
so
the lyrical
so
exercise.
so when they before they play the music, do they actually like y'all got people that edit it before it comes
Oh yeah,
to
before
you?
it gets in the system, it's edited
Okay.
and clean and yeah, nothing is in that system that's dirty.
So the artist ain't gotta edit it, they already edited for the artist?
So okay, so that's done 2 ways. Sometimes the artist will send you a clean version and then you have to listen to it, and sometimes when an artist sends us their clean version, we have to clean it up some more. And then there's other times, like for instance when Kendrick Lamar dropped and my program director was like, Kendrick Lamar just dropped. He was like, I need you to listen to the album, pick like 4 songs that you think we need to be playing, let me know. I was like, right now, this is crazy. And so I've listened and I gave him my 4 songs, and then he asked other people and he gave them the songs or whatever that we liked, and then he had one of the DJs like literally cleaning it so we could be the first ones to play it.
Oh, okay.
So they was
Wow.
literally in there listening
fast.
like
Damn, they quick.
cleaning it so we could put it on the air.
Damn,
So
they
if
quick.
you notice, like when Kendrick Lamar's album came out, the first song, like because he let me debut a lot of the songs, and so the first song we played was Luther, because Luther was the only song on the album that was clean.
Yeah.
And I was like, that is the hit. I was like, that's the hit right there. I was like, and it's already clean. He was like, listen to it again, make sure it's clean. So I'm like, listening to it. I was like, yeah, it's clean. He was like, I'm putting it in the system.
Okay.
Boom.
Oh Oh, okay. That's what's up, man. That's what's up, man. We got Danny B in the building, man. So Danny B, what's next for you? You know what I'm saying? You've been doing this radio thing. You know, you look like you had a long, interesting career. You know what I'm saying? From city to city. What's next for Danie B? What should we be looking out for Danie B?
Right now, I'm just trying to get more entrenched in the community. You know, I have my nonprofit, the Danie B Caring Foundation. We just gave away prom dresses to girls. We're going to be doing some things with natural hair and lupus and breast cancer, and all that stuff is coming this summer and this fall. So really getting entrenched in the community and really just getting like putting roots down, if you will, because the common theme in my career has always been like, okay, they keep you like 2 years and then you get cut. Keep you 2 years and then you get cut because of whatever happens. But I feel like I'm finally in a place where that's not going to happen. So I can actually like make a stamp, you know, impact people in a bigger way. So that's what I'm looking to do right now. I'm excited.
You know what that sound like when you said 2 years, make it happen 2 years? That sound like Bad Boy back in the day. Give you 2 albums and then you out of there. You know what I'm saying? Like,
I'm going to bed.
I'm just saying, you give you 2 hours and you out of there or whatnot, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, for real. You know what I'm saying? So what advice would you give someone that's actually trying to get into the industry? What advice would you give them now that you have this, you know what I'm saying, interesting story? What advice would you give them?
Don't run from rejection. This is a very hard industry to get into because think about it. Like, in any city, how many doctors do you need? How many nurses do you need? How many teachers do you need? In any city, Atlanta, again, is a anomaly. Other cities, a lot of time, especially when it comes to black people, you have one hip-hop station. So that one hip-hop station, you got morning show, midday, afternoons, nights, and maybe a couple people working behind the scenes. You got 6 slots, let's say. Yeah. And then stations where I talked about earlier, like corporates making it smaller, they cutting. So you got 2 spots. You got 1 spot in a city. It's very competitive. So, you know, I would say to people that are trying to get into the industry, I would say learn how to do something else. Not saying you can't put everything into your dream, but learn how to do something else so that you have something not to necessarily fall back on, but something that you could do on the side that continues to make you money. Because that was one of the mistakes that I made. I put all my eggs into the radio basket, and I was like, okay, I'm going to work myself up the corporate ladder. Nah, I should have been investing in myself while I was at these radio stations. I should have been building my own brand in addition to doing stuff for the radio station. But I'm trying to put everything into the radio station thinking they're going to elevate me. Nah, look out for you. Gotcha. And again, don't be afraid of rejection. And if you really, really want this and you're really talented, work on your craft and keep going with it. Because again, like I've wanted to be on V103 since I was a kid. It took me 15 years to get here. It took 15 years. And then when I got to the point to where I love Jesus, I'm spiritual, I love Jesus. But when it got to the point to where I was like, I literally gave it up to God, and I was like, I don't know what I'm supposed to do here. I'm applying to regular jobs, you know, regular 9-to-5 jobs. I'm not getting those, even though I'm qualified for those. I'm applying to TV jobs. They're saying, why don't you go for a radio job? Your experience is extensive in radio. And I'm like, because they ain't trying to hire me. Like, what do you want me to do? I'm trying to get something. And then literally when I was just like, I'm going to give it up to God, that's when V103 came. When I started to trust my intuition, and I was like, when you have a feeling in here and you just go with it, that's when stuff starts to happen. Because that's how I got at V. Like, I was literally sitting, like all this stuff happened that I told you about. And so then I got to the point where I was like, I don't want to do this anymore. I'm going to try to do something else. I'll try to apply for city jobs. Okay, I could be the communications director for the mayor's office. I know how to do that. I can do marketing. Nothing was panning out. And so one day I was just sitting at home, and I saw there's a radio conference that happens every year called Morning Show Boot Camp. If you're interested, and that's another thing, if you're interested in radio, you're interested in the industry, go there. You learn so much. They teach you about contracts. They teach you about negotiations. They teach you about how to get into the industry. You network with so many people. There are these big time radio personalities that are just there, and you can just talk to them, hang out at the bar, hang out at the pool with them at this radio conference. I did that. And then, you know, there's opportunities for you to stand out and get seen. Okay. I did that. And so I went to that conference. No, I applied. They had a contest that said, who has the best radio bit? Radio bit is a radio segment, something you hear them do on the radio. Yeah. Back in the day, it was the birthday song with Ryan Cameron, and you know, those are bits. So it was like, who has the best bit in the country? I was like, wouldn't it be funny if me and my former co-host, we had a really good show, and we had been shopping our show around, but it was the same thing. I was a black girl, pop stations didn't want us. He was an Asian dude, so they was like, what do we do with that? Because pop stations are usually catered toward white people. Yeah. So they were like, what do we do with that? And then hip hop stations was like, they too silly. They not street enough. So I'm like, what do we want to do? R&B stations was like, they too young. We was like, what do we do? So I was like, wouldn't it? But everybody was giving us good feedback. They was like, y'all are so good, but we don't know what to do with y'all. So I submitted our bid for Morning Show Boot Camp. I was like, it wouldn't be funny if we won this and we ain't even on the radio. Them folk called me up and said, hey, you're a finalist. I was like, whoa, I'm just playing. I was like, I'm not on the radio for real. I'm just playing, bro. I'm just playing. And they was like, no, like, if you can find a way to get out here, we will pay for your entrance to go to the conference. You get to go into all of the parties and network for free. Like, we'll pay for all of that if you could get here because we feel like your bit's really good. And I was like, all right, that ain't nothing. I got a whole bunch of cousins that stay in. It was in Dallas, Texas that year. Okay. A whole bunch of cousins stay in Texas. I went to the conference. I get to the conference. Worst possible thing that could happen happened. I had submitted everything. My co-host, he was up for a big DJ gig. He's a big time DJ on TikTok. Make sure you follow him. His name's Kevin Kahn. He's fire. But he had a big time DJ gig, like life changing type thing, and it did end up changing his life. Wow. So, and put him on a bigger scale. But he had that in San Francisco. So I was already supposed to be going to San Francisco to support him in that. So he was like, damn, I can't go with you. I was like, all right. So I went by myself. I was like, it's fine. We got everything. We would videotape a lot of our stuff that we did on our show. So he's like, we could just show it on the screens, video, I'll talk about it at the end. They was like, yeah, video and audio don't work no more.
Oh my God.
So I had to get up there. You remember the birthday song back in the day, Ryan Cameron? That was our bit, but we made it modern and we created different parts of it, like, you know, the sing-along part that he would do. We created a different part for it. That was my bit. So I'm like, I got to, in essence, do a parody song with no music, no audio, no co-host, by myself, and explain to these people how this is great in our market and how it works. Yeah. I got up there, I surveyed the room. I looked at my phone. I would take notes when we would be doing the birthday songs or whatever, because we would write a different one every day, and I would always write it. I found in my phone, I had the notes for Avril Lavigne, Complicated. I got up there, and I had my little phone out and performed it. After that, every major radio person wanted to talk to me. Everybody's like, you got to talk to my boss. You got to talk to my boss. You got to talk to my boss. I had meetings with iHeart, had meetings with Hubbard, had meetings with Cumulus, had meetings with Odyssey. I sat down with dude at Odyssey. He was like, at this point, I don't care. I'm over radio. I was very raw. I was very honest. It's like, this sucks. I keep getting cut. I feel like I'm talented. And he was like, well, if BS didn't happen and none of this crazy stuff happened, where would you be? I said V103 in Atlanta. And he's like, that's my station. I was like, I know. Literally like 2 weeks later, program director of V103 was hitting me up. Wow. So again, anybody interested in this, you're gonna face a lot of rejection. It may be hard. You may see a way out of no way, but one, trust your intuition. When you have an urge that tells you to do something and you don't know why, just do it. Just go with it. Take advantage of your opportunities. I don't mean be up there and be pushy and try to like steal spotlight from people and be, like that. But when you do have the opportunity to be on stage and, do the spotlight and stuff like that, take advantage of it. I literally surveyed that crowd. I surveyed the competition. I was like, okay, this is what I'm going to have to do to win. Yeah. And I figured that out literally in the moment. Everybody got up there and was like, well, on our show, we talk about this. I was like, okay, I'm going to have to perform this if I'm going to win. Yeah. And so I went up there and sucked it up and did it. Room full of 500 people I didn't know, singing a cappella, knowing I can't sing. And so take advantage of your opportunities, maximize your opportunities. And then, third one, just, again, marry your craft. And the rejection that you go through with this, all of it, you're going to need it at the end, if that makes sense. So all the rejection that I went through, and that forced me to have to turn this way, Well, when I turned this way, I learned how to do this thing. Mm-hmm. When I turned over here, I learned how to do this thing. When I turned over here, I learned how to do this thing. So now that I'm at V103, I kid you not, I use everything that I had to learn at every single job that I had.
Wow.
All of it. I'm
Wow.
working with the news department. My first job was 640 WGST doing news. I'm working with news. We had to cover Kamala Harris in the election, had to be fact checked, and I had to do that. Social media, I learned in New York. A girl taught me how to sit and edit video and stuff like that. I was like, I don't want to do this. One of the major parts of my job that I do now is editing video. Like social media, digital, running websites. I learned that in Orlando. I learned that in New York. Did I want to learn it? No, but I ended up doing it because I was like, okay, this is something that'll keep me here or whatever. I use all of it now.
So you're not tunnel vision, you're peripheral vision where you can see everything and do everything.
Yeah, like now I'm in a space where I literally know how to do everything.
Yeah.
Because of all of those experiences, and that makes it to where cuts happen. They like, oh no, we need her because she know how to do this. She know how to do this, and she got her hands in this and this and this.
Yeah. So they keep job security. That's what's up, man. That Danie be in the building, man. You feel it, man? We appreciate you stepping through, man. You know what I'm saying? Like we told all our guests, if you ever in the area, you know, definitely peek your head in there, you know what I'm saying, and come on the show and say what's up to us, you know what I'm saying. We definitely will welcome you on in. And let people know how they can follow you, find you, and all that, man, on your social media, man.
Okay, first off, you can listen to me each and every day on the Odyssey app or on V103 on your radios if you are here in the Atlanta area from 10 to 3. I'm on every single day, well, every weekday. I don't be doing on weekends. But again, I can say that now. Boundaries. But every day 10 to 3. And then as far as on social media, I'm Danie be tripping on everything. So
there it is, man. You know what I'm
Danie
saying? Maybe one day Big Talk Big Game will come on your show and act the fool.
Gotta get it approved by the program director.
And they
gotta talk to the program director.
Everything gets approved.
Got to go to the program.
They just don't be like, yeah, come on. No, it's like, okay, well, who we got?
You know what? No, that ain't important. We're gonna move them to next week. Matter of fact, I just want to move to next year. You know what I'm saying? Maybe they'll forget about it next time. You know what I'm saying? But we appreciate you coming through, man. Hey, man, that's our time, man. Big Talk, Big Game in the Game Room. You know how to find us on all social media platforms at Big Talk, Big Game, and also on the HHN TV network, man. You feel me, man? Hey, we out of here, man. Appreciate everybody showing love and watching the show, man. That's our time. Peace.